everybody, welcome to Caketastic Cakes. It's Jen, and if you're like me and probably everyone else in most of the world, you've been following the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial at least a little bit to know what this cake is here that I made. And while I am going to be showing you how I'm doing it, I'm not really going to be talking about it too much because I kind of just want to talk about the trial. And it's just kind of a hot mess, and it's like a train wreck that you can't look away from. And I am kind of curious about it too because when Johnny Depp sued the Sun, he ended up losing. So they believed Amber. They were like, "No, this evidence clearly shows you're the, aggressor here and you're in the wrong." So, okay, that was done there. And then you come to America and another court case, and now it seems to be pretty different. Like a lot of people are more team Johnny, justice for Johnny than they are for Amber Heard. And it's kind of an interesting thing to see. And I really wish I could, spend probably the hours and hours to look at the son's testimony and trial stuff in order to figure out the difference there. But I don't know, it's just very different. And I was looking at some online polls and they're like, "Yeah, who do you believe? Just, Johnny or Amber?" And it was like a 99% to 1 ratio. It was very, 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 very one-sided. There was like no hesitation, it seems. And it kind of begs the question, why though? And of course, I've been watching, the videos and the trials, and then in my free time, I'm doing my sleuthing around. And there's just so many of her statements and things she does that are just so weird or inconsistent or kind of like, wait a minute, how would that work exactly? Like, did he have, a messed up finger when he had the bot? It just, yeah, I don't know. And I wasn't there, so like if this legit did happen, like holy cow, this is a huge big deal, and it's she's like killing it for herself. But anyway, it's just a lot of the things she says, like the whole pledge donate thing. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is like an argument I'd get in with my son when he was like 5. Like, did you brush your teeth? Yes. Did you brush them tonight? No, but that's not what you asked. You asked, have I, did I brush my teeth? Yes, I have in my, no, no, just no. And then I swear it was a slip up with the whole bruise kit thing when she said that, oh, yes, I have my bruise kit. Oh, I mean, no, it's not a bruise. Like, I caught that when I saw it and I didn't know exactly what that meant. So, of course, I looked it up and I found out that a bruise kit is the actual kit of makeup for creating fake bruises. That's what it's called in the industry that they work in the movie, theater, creative, arts industry. It's called a makeup kit, and you apply it in the order that she described when you're trying to create bruises. You put on your concealer, foundation, concealer, and then the makeup. You don't do it in that order unless you're creating bruises. Otherwise, you do it in the opposite order. You put the makeup on first and then cover it with your foundation or whatever. So it's like, oh, I'm watching these makeup people talking about this. I'm like, holy cow, that was like a total Freudian slip on her part, in, my opinion. And then you have videos. Oh, I've been watching all these videos on body language experts, and they're so fascinating. And they get very little credence in the actual legal world. So I don't know how much it matters, but the body language experts are like, "Oh my gosh, Amber Heard's testimony is what one of them recalled it referenced it as, I think, a gift from the gods of the behavioral body language gods, because it was just so many clusters, as they call it, and little signs of deceit, that most of what she says is deceit. And her looking at the jury all the time, at this point I find it to be creepy and intimidating. And then people are saying the jury won't even look at her. And then the behavior guys were talking about Johnny Depp's body language and how he definitely had some little signs here and there of either deception or withholding information, because they can't say it's a lie, they're lying. They can say that they're uncomfortable because of withholding information or trying to deceive or whatever. They're just not being cleanly honest and open. So there's been some moments where he's done it too. It's like, yeah, okay, I believe that. And I do believe it. I believe that Johnny Depp is not a saint. I believe that his hands are not clean in this. However, I kind of feel like she's the aggressor and he's the reactor. And I saw it growing up in my own home. where my father had suffered from mental illnesses, and it made it very, very hard in my, I'm trying to keep this nice and PC here, made it hard sometimes in my household. And I saw my mother, who was a very, proper person, very polite, very calm person, very careful with her words, shall I say, turn from that person into someone who was swearing and yelling, and it just was shocking to see. But you get driven to that point, is what I mean, that you will end up changing your behavior. But anyway, and just a lot of the other stuff that she had said too, like the whole thing with the bed being broken at the foot of the bed, the chunk of wood that had been torn off because it was his boot from pushing during an incident. And I found a video on this lawyer who's actually in that area, in the Virginia area, and he's a woodworker, and it's kind of his jam. So he went through the type of wood that the bed was made of, and he reconstructed a model of it, and he demonstrated that a boot couldn't do that kind of damage, but what could do that kind of damage and the type of damage that occurred to the wood because of the type of wood and all that jazz was if you would jam like a knife or something very sharp and pointed into it and then pried a chunk out of it. And then you see the bed, and on the bed is some shiny little metal. Is it like a knife, or is it a super tool or something, or a Leatherman tool? I don't know. Maybe it is. And then you got the dog poop on the bed, and it's like, I don't think it was a dog, And she's like, oh no, it wasn't me. But it's huge, and the Yorkies are small, and here's my cake that I'm making right there, so you can see where the inspiration came from. And then you got the testimony of the driver when she was going to Coachella and her laughing about, Johnny finding the surprise she left for him. And it's like, come on, really? This is all just such a mess. And then you got the recordings that she made where it's like she pokes and pokes and pokes to get the reaction in order to be able to record the action, or at least that's how it seems. I wasn't there, but yeah, it's a mess. But I do know it's a hot mess and it's fascinating to watch. Not really sure why it's so fascinating to watch, but it is. And hey, you know what? I made a fun and cute cake out of it. So I don't know. It was an odd request for this cake, but it was fun to make. It really was. So anyway, I hope you liked this little video. I hope you enjoyed my little rant. Go check out those other videos that I mentioned though, of like the behavior arts and the woodworking lawyer. They're very interesting. And check out my other videos too, and please like and subscribe. That helps me out. And thank you for watching Caketastic Cakes.